Single dad janitor blew bubbles to calm a girl in crisis, unaware her billionaire mom was watching. No one noticed the janitor at the elite Brookstone Academy. Students rushed past him, teachers barely nodded, and the high glass walls reflected only the polished shoes of the wealthy. But to David, none of that mattered. He wasn't here for recognition, he was here to build a life for his 6-year-old son, Ethan, after losing his wife to cancer 2 years ago. Every night after his shift, David would pick up Ethan from a kind neighbor's house and they'd go to the park. Sometimes, when he had a few extra dollars, he'd buy a small bottle of bubbles. Blowing them into the wind, they'd chase the orbs and laugh together, their grief momentarily replaced by light and color. One Thursday afternoon, the school was buzzing with energy. Parents were arriving early for a student art show, and the halls gleamed with expensive jewelry, designer shoes, and hushed conversations about business and boardrooms. David quietly mopped the east wing, trying to stay out of sight, until he heard a muffled sob echoing from the stairwell. He paused. The crying was soft, but raw. He followed the sound to find a little girl, no older than Ethan, sitting alone, her head buried in her arms, trembling. Her blonde curls covered her face, and her pristine dress was crumpled as if she had just collapsed there. David gently knelt beside her. "Hey there, are you okay?" Startled, the girl looked up. Her cheeks were red, eyes swollen. I want to go home," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Nobody's coming for me. Mommy said she would, but she's not here." David's heart clenched. He recognized the look. He'd seen it in Ethan too many times: abandonment, fear, loneliness. "I bet your mom's just caught up." "Grown-ups get busy sometimes, but that doesn't mean they don't care," he said softly. The girl didn't respond, so David reached into his pocket. He smiled gently and pulled out a half-empty bottle of bubbles, one he'd forgotten to take out after last night's park run with Ethan. "Do you like bubbles?" he asked. She hesitated. He dipped the wand, blew gently, and let a stream of shimmering orbs drift through the air. The girl's tears paused, her wide eyes reflecting the soft colors dancing in the stairwell light. He handed her the wand. "You try." A faint smile broke through her sadness. With unsteady hands, she dipped it and blew. The bubbles floated between them like fragile stars, bursting softly in the quiet. David laughed and clapped gently, encouraging her. Soon, she was giggling too, twirling beneath the bubbles as though the weight of the world had been lifted. Up on the landing above, someone had stopped to watch. Isabella Green, CEO of Green Tech and one of the wealthiest women in the country, stood frozen, phone in hand. She'd been rushing to pick up her daughter, Sophie, when a last-minute call from Tokyo came through. She'd been so close to canceling the pickup altogether. But now, as she watched her daughter laugh with the janitor, a man in faded shoes and a weary face, something inside her cracked. Isabella hadn't seen Sophie smile like that in weeks. Her daughter had been quiet, withdrawn ever since the divorce. Isabella had been too caught up in mergers and meetings to notice how deeply her daughter was hurting. The janitor had noticed. The janitor had healed something. Isabella slowly descended the stairs as Sophie ran to her, bubbles still drifting through the air. "Mommy. Mr. David showed me how to make flying sparkles. He said you'd come." David stood quickly, brushing his hands against his uniform. "Sorry, ma'am." She was upset and I just. But Isabella raised a hand, stopping him gently. Her eyes were glassy. "No. Thank you," she said. Her voice, for once, was not that of a CEO, but a mother. The next day, David was called to the headmaster's office. Nervous, he expected reprimand. Instead, he found Isabella waiting. "I Googled you," she said with a smile. "Widowed. Raising Ethan alone. No complaints from staff. Never late. And, a bubble whisperer." David chuckled shyly. Just trying to make ends meet, ma'am. She leaned forward. I run a foundation for emotional wellness in children. We're building a program focused on empathy, play, and connection. I want you to help lead it. He blinked. Me? You saw my daughter when I couldn't. You reached her when I didn't know how. That matters more than a degree ever could. Tears welled in David's eyes. He thought about the late nights, the missed meals, the moments when he'd nearly given up. And now, this. From that day on, David wasn't just the janitor. He became the heart behind a new movement in schools. One that believed kindness could heal, bubbles could comfort, and that even those society overlooks can change the course of a life. Sometimes, the smallest acts, a smile, a word, a bubble, carry the power to transform the world. And sometimes, the person no one sees becomes the hero everyone needs.